All right, welcome back everybody. March 7th, it's about 8:30 in the morning and I am behind. I'll explain it in a little bit. We're gonna get a little footage of this corn silage coming out, shutting this down. I'll explain to you, I had a little bit of a problem this morning. Silo elevator off. Obviously we're running the 18-footer. Give it about 10-15 seconds. Continue to run the outside elevator just to keep it clean. We're going to talk about that here in just 2 seconds. That was my problem this morning. And I need to get a whole bunch of salt. This buildup is getting to the point where it's messing up this door. Okay, a little behind this morning, but not a big deal. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. This elevator froze up. What happened was Thursday night we got some snow. Yesterday morning I opted not to feed corn silage. Reason being, it was just god-awful windy back here. You'll lose a quarter of your product, maybe if not better. So I opted not to feed corn silage, and they just got a collection of wet wrap bales. Yesterday afternoon we had an amazing meltdown. So any of the snow that collected like up there, drained down, any snow that got in here, it all went to the bottom and it froze overnight. Now that's a normal deal here. We always check it. I did, but I obviously didn't check it good enough. Trick of the trade is to grab a warm pail of water and pour it in on the other side. Well, it stalled it just enough to where it actually tripped, for the lack of better words, tripped the motor up there. Which just goes to prove a person needs to take 2 extra seconds and just settle down and go through the actions. Of course, I got a plate full of stuff today, so I'm running around with my head cut off. I'm opening up, I'm checking breakers. Opened up the box, there's 2 of those screw-in fuses, trying to look for fuses. Ding ding. There's a reset button up there. All it took was one of these things, and we're good to go. So, yeah, the cows went without their corn silage yesterday. They weren't too happy about that, but they got a hell of a nice treat coming here this morning. This is kind of a cleanup day for the cows and heifers here. I did start off this morning. They got a wrap bale of sorghum, which they continue to do just such a great job on. I'm almost going to say zero waste. That, they're getting this corn silage, and then they got about a half a ring of hay here, and then they got a ring here of some corn fodder that they're picking at really well, and there's some hay down below. This is all they're getting for feed this morning. This evening will be a little bit of a different story. With this very nice weather, and we need to talk about the weather. They've been going on some what I like to call feeding frenzy days. This old cow here, 469, she's not going to be on the farm much longer. She's got herself a problem. We're going to give her some time and see how she does. She's definitely not carrying. She was not accepting to a breeding this entire summer. She got AI'd, I think 2 times at least, and then a lot of bull jumpings, and she never accepted a breeding. This is an animal that you need to call out of your herd. As much as you don't like to, you need to. She did this farm an excellent job, produced a lot of calves. But she's got to go. What I'm doing here, the reason she's still here now is because she was sickly. We're going to see how she does. And if she gets better and healthier come this late spring and even early summer, I will indeed ship her to slaughter for my own personal use. Right now I'm not going to do that for reasons well known. It's a sickly animal, and I'm just not doing that. Probably didn't explain that very well. Hey bastard. That's young bull right there. He's doing real good. Full of vinegar. I still haven't grabbed the bulls out of here, but that's soon to be done pretty quick. A procrastination list that I recited here about a week or 2 ago is dwindling down immensely. One thing left on the list is getting these bulls out of here. Of course, they're all conjugating there around a wrap bale of sorghum. What you want, Big Mama? Huh? It's a beautiful young heifer here. She just got a little case of the lazies here this morning. Just got up. Beautiful young heifer that I was failed in weaning off. That is staying on this farm. So there were some comments. That's a steer. the only steer left in here that I failed to wean off. And the corral system is inoperable and under frozen ice here. But soon to be, that's not going to be the case. I'll explain that. So there's been a few comments about how you either need a bigger, larger, longer wagon, or you need to fill up 2 wagons to feed this herd. And I respect that, I understand. What you need to understand though is there's multiple rings of other feed out here. Also, the cattle that you've seen on that wagon right now eating that corn silage, they're not going to stay there till it's completely gone. They're going to get their fill and they're going to move on. And others are going to take their place. That was explained kind of childishly, but unless this herd was to double, which I do not see, that's not feasible on this operation and with the property that's here. As we speak anyway, I will never see feeding out 2 wagons of silage of any form to the yard. We are dealing with beef animals here, folks. This is just a special little treat. This farm has always done corn silage or haylage of one form or another. I want to continue that and keep these silos living. Because of course you go ahead and take a year off without them being in operation. My simple mind says that's how you're going to kill something real quick. I always make it a habit to check the automatic water inside that shed. I already did that. That's fine. It's free and clear. And I always like taking a good look at the mineral, which I threw 2 bags in here. Was it yesterday? So they got more than enough. That'll last another 2 days there, if not 3. But it's coming up on calving season here. Another 3.5 weeks or so. First ones are coming. And that's where they're going to go through their most mineral. Calving season and breeding season. I need to tighten up this fence a little bit here later on today. That one steer I failed to wean off, he came in here and screwed this up last evening when I was feeding, and that has to be tightened up. All right, we'll take a little look at the young stock yard here, feeder yard, whatever the heck we want to call it. They are due for a bale of wrapped alfalfa baleage this morning. I've made them go about almost 24 hours without baleage, and they're screaming for it this morning. They were. Right now they're pretty content. They just got their grain ration, and they got a good bale of dry hay out there, but it's time for them to get a bale of alfalfa baleage. We're going to talk about this collection of feed here in just a moment. I can't do 2 things at once, so give me a moment here. It doesn't take a very keen eye to see that I depleted some lines out in the field. That's why that stack of dry hay there has some dry hay that's been wrapped. Those are end cap bales, as I call them. But yeah, I made a couple of trips yesterday, one the other day, and I'm going to make another one this morning here as soon as I'm done, if not 2 more. We got kind of a catch-22 here. We got a problem, but it's a good problem. We have a heck of a meltdown coming. We're supposed to reach 42 degrees here today, and then tomorrow, one of the reports, I'm seeing a high of 54, which makes the baleage yard impossible to get to without problems. So I'm gonna have to time this out correctly. I'm going after a big stockpile here. It's cold enough where it doesn't affect the baleage. It still stays good, for lack of better words, again. And then from here on out, I'm gonna have to time it and hit a cold morning. We're even talking about, you know, maybe 6, 7 o'clock in the morning while things are nice and crispy like they are this morning. In fact, it's pretty chilly this morning, where it's acceptable for me to head on out there as far as traction and grip, and I don't sink down in that melting snow. So yeah, there's going to be a significant stockpile of feed here, but it's all for the right reasons. I don't know how else to put that. Everything else is going pretty fair. Just a matter of playing catch up. I had the vet here yesterday afternoon, and we did a little nutting. I'm gonna do a I've been pretty absent here lately, but busy. We're gonna do multiple videos today. One of the videos is gonna be inside the barn a little later on this evening, and I'm gonna explain to you the process that took place yesterday with the castration of 2 of the bulls, and then another castration of a 1 nutter. Excuse my words here, I'm not as prolific as I probably should be. I'll do a little better explaining here this evening when we take a look at them. But come on, get away from here. Come on, get away. This bale of alfalfa might look a little funky to you. Reason being, it was a last bale that was left, so the deer got at it pretty good. You know what? I'm tired of abiding by that side of the yard. I try to even things out a little bit as far as manure goes, and you know, a little bit of collection of leftover feed. So this is where this new ring is going to go. And obviously the last bale also freezes up pretty easily, but the cattle will take care of that problem in 2 seconds. This was also a last bale before the end caps. Therefore, this is going to happen. They will not eat that though. You need to understand that. They will eat up 90% of this bale. Come on, get out of here. We're going to take the lazy route. Plus, I've only got one hand here. I'm going to move that ring with the spears. But this yard's doing pretty good. You won't be seeing these, well, except for the kept back heifers. You won't be seeing a lot of these here in about one more month or so for a feeder sales coming up, including calves in the barn and those 6 in the cattle yard that I failed to wean off. Time is coming. So, anyway, good to have you back. Good to see you again. We're going to do multiple videos today. We're going to make today fun. I got a laundry list of must-dos, to-dos, and keep-ups going on today. And I plan on kind of taking you with me. So, hope everybody's doing okay. We're going to talk to you sooner or later.